Greetings everybody and welcome here to Prog Monster. My name is Murph. I am the host of this show, a show dedicated to progressive rock and other forms of rock music. So we're back with the forward champion. Yes, the one that was supposed to be last week. But somebody on this channel forgot to make and upload it. Just completely went out of my brain that day. I didn't even think of it until the next day when I went to see how it did, and then I realized it didn't do very well because I didn't make it. So anyways, that's done with. We had an extra week to ponder Gentle Giant's future. So Ben came on the day after I started this week and voted for Gentle Giant. So they ended up winning, and they go into the retirement plan to come back and fight for the Grand Championship. There will definitely be a Grand Championship now because we've had two 5-round winners in Supertramp's Crime of the Century and Gentle Giant's Acquiring the Taste are both there. So today we're going to start with two new challengers, two bands that were part of a big threesome at one point. Maybe that doesn't sound so good, but anyways, two of these bands are bands that I've been listening to for a very long time. I love both of these albums. I'm curious to see which one of them will win. I've got a pretty sneaking suspicion which one will, but however, you never do, you just never know. So we have this album is one of them. This is Led Zeppelin 4 or So-So or whatever you want to call it. Considered one of the great classic rock albums in history. Definitely Led Zeppelin is one of the greatest bands of all time, so you got arguably their best album from one of the greatest bands up against, to me, which is one of my favorite bands, and this album I absolutely love despite its production problems. We're talking about Born Again from Black Sabbath. So Black Sabbath versus Led Zeppelin. Born Again versus Volume 4, or in the case of Led Zeppelin, it's album number 4. I guess I could have chose Black Sabbath Volume 4 and made it all fours, but I didn't. I like Born Again, despite the kind of ridiculous cover on it. So anyways, they're both pretty heavy. They're really heavy albums. This one is more of a hard rock album. Definitely has that hard rock feel to it. I mean, it starts out with two of the heavier tracks, Black Dog and Rock and Roll, both very good tracks. I think Rock and Roll is probably overplayed, but it doesn't matter. They're both really good heavy songs. Then you got the Battle of Evermore, which is a little bit different from the other songs on the album. Stairway to Heaven, many consider to be the quintessential single song in rock history, one of the greatest, if not the greatest song of all time. Misty Mountain Hop, another really great classic heavy Zeppelin track. Then you've got Four Sticks, another good song. Going to California is a little bit more mellow, a little bit more kind of folkish, what do they call it, bluesy sound to it. And then When the Levee Breaks, which is that really heavy pounding song, like more melodic than the other hard rock songs on the album, but really classic. So you got, and this of course was produced by Jimmy Page himself. Just really good. I sometimes feel like that guy with that big weight on his back, that old guy. But such a classic rock album. Its challenger, despite its ugly cover and ridiculously back cover as well, this is a fantastic album as well. It wasn't recorded very well. It's got a kind of a murky kind of feel to it, but the tracks on here are fantastic. Comes crashing out of the gate with Trashed, really great song. I love the fast pace of it. I love Ian Gillan's voice on this. Actually, Ian Gillan's voice on this album is among the best, if not his best vocal performance in history, I think. Stonehenge, really heavy, deep, melodic song. Disturbing the Priest, yeah, what can you say about that? That is a heavy, kind of scary almost song in some ways. Then you got Dark, which leads into Zero the Hero, which is a more rhythmatic, heavy pulse pounding, melodic, really heavy song, and this really great digital bitch, more up tempo, more. To me, this song could be a little bit more on the Deep Purple side of the coin than it is on the Sabbath side. Born Again, very similar to Zero to Hero, melodic, heavy, crushing riffing by Tony Iommi, who plays some of his best stuff on here. And the last two tracks, Hotline and Keep It Warm, very deep cuts. I never listened to them much when I first got the album, and then they've become among my favorites on the album now. So this album, released in 1981, I think this one was released in 1971, so there's 10 years between them. Both really good. This was more of a heavy metal album. This one more of a hard rock album. So those are the two genres I'm kind of representing here today. The winner of this will probably go on to face a prog band next, so it could be a one-shot. I don't know, but I'm going to give them both a chance here. Curious to see if the Sabbath or Zeppelin fans will show up here to battle each other. I like both bands quite a bit. Sabbath, I think, is a little bit more my style. It's one of my group of 8. But it's not much further ahead that Zeppelin could end up in that group, make it a group of 9. But we'll see what happens. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this episode of Forward Champion. So what that now means is that you've heard me talk about both albums. My suggestion is you go listen to both albums and then decide which one you think is better, and then go in my comment section below and put down which one you think should win. The more people that put it down, the better the battle. So we will be back again next week with another Forward Champion. One of these two will move forward to face another challenger, and the other one will go back on the shelf in disgrace. No, I'm just kidding. So have yourself a good day. Please like and subscribe, and we will see you again next Thursday on Forward Champion. Take care.